Hey squad, welcome back. Now, one of the main reasons why I started my YouTube channel a few years ago was to bring solutions to problems that we as producers, engineers, musicians come across from time to time. And that is still fundamentally at the heart of what I try to do in each of my tutorials. Now, every once in a while, a product appears that can have such a fundamental impact on the way in which we do things that it completely transforms our workflow and the results we get in a positive way. And that's why today's video is very important, especially for you guys who are producing, engineering and mixing in headphones, or there are limitations in your studio space in terms of acoustics or noise transmission. Today's video could actually make a huge difference to you. Now remember, if you find value in my content, like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. It's always great hearing from you. And don't forget, if you're looking for a consultation or one-to-one tuition, check out my website, musictechtraining.com/tuition. Anyway, it's that time, so let's get into it. Okay, so today's video is all about the brand new Waves CLA NX plugin. Now, what is this plugin and what can it do for you? It's a simulation of a high-end professional recording studio environment that you can access when you put your headphones on. So if you're accustomed to recording and mixing, especially in headphones, or maybe you're working in a bedroom or in an attic or a basement where the acoustics aren't great and transmission of noise into or out of the room might be a problem, then this plugin could be a solution for you. What you do, you put your headphones on, you drive the music through the headphones, and once you engage this plugin, it's as though you are actually mixing in a proper studio environment with a simulation of real life studio acoustics, as well as 3 different speaker monitoring setups. Now, the studio itself is modeled on Chris Lord-Alge's incredible studio, where multiple top 10 and Grammy award-winning songs were mixed. Let's dig into the software, have a look around, and let's see how this might benefit you. It certainly has made a difference to the way I'm working already, so let's check it out. Okay, so I've got a production here in Logic, and I'm going to insert this CLA NX plugin. Now, where it goes is on the main output. So outputs 1 and 2, if that's your main out, you insert it there. You might well find the Waves Head Tracker utility come up. Now the Waves Head Tracker is a device that can be attached to the top of your headphones that would enable a full binaural immersive experience, which allows for when you move your head around, it's as though you are moving position within the actual studio. Now, I haven't got one of these head trackers. However, that doesn't stop me from getting a good experience with the actual plugin. So let's switch that off. And this is the plugin itself right here. So now once you've inserted the plugin, you must make sure that no other plugins follow after it. So if, for example, you were going to use a channel EQ or maybe a compressor or maybe some other effects plugins on the main output, the CLA NX needs to be at the very end of the chain, okay? So all of your other plugins need to be at the top. Remember, the signal flows virtually from the top down. So the last thing you want the signal to hit in your chain is the NX. Now the controls are real simple. Down here, we've got the head tracking options where we can calibrate and adjust settings. We're actually switching that off because we're not going to be using head tracking. And down here, you've got the head modeling options where you can enter the circumference of your head as well as the ear-to-ear measurement. I'm not really going to touch these settings. I'm going to leave it as standard. This spot right here, you can switch on the headphone EQ and you can choose from a selection of professional headphones. Now, my 2 favorite headphones are my Beyerdynamic DT250s. The 250s aren't listed, but I can opt for maybe the DT880s, or I've got some Sennheiser HD 650s, and the 600s are quite similar to the 650s, so I'll probably opt for that. This is the different virtual studio monitors that you can switch between. Now the CLA 10s are custom versions of the legendary Yamaha NS10 near-field monitors, which most top-end professional studios would use for probably 90% of their mixing. We've got mains, so as you would in a big studio, you might want to switch to far-field monitoring to get a sense of the raw energy of your track, and switch back to the NS10s to do the more detailed work. And down here we can switch to a boombox where we can listen to our track through a set of domestic boombox speakers. Now the boombox itself is positioned at the back of the studio, and to get to it we click this right here. And if I was to use this rotator, we can rotate. This is the boombox just down here, and this is our head position. So I could actually use this rotation wheel to kind of rotate around the studio, and I'd get a different perspective of the sound as I rotate around the studio. And now this of course is a true simulation of Chris Lord-Alge's studio, and here's all of his studio gear at the back of the room, and the console right here. Okay, so you can actually use this rotation wheel to actually get different perspectives. To get it back to center, you click on here. So over here we've got the ambience control, and this is for the room ambience. And if we want to reduce the amount of room ambience, we'll just reduce like so, or if we want to boost, we'll turn the other way. I generally like to keep the ambience setting at 100%, which is dead center. Now this level control right here adjusts the amount of signal going out to the headphones, and if you find that you are clipping on this meter right here, you might want to back this off so you have a nice clean signal. This doesn't actually affect the volume of the actual mix within the system, it's just the output to the headphones. Okay, so let's put some music through this. We'll have a listen to the music through different speaker monitoring setups. We'll also try listening from different perspectives, and maybe we'll even switch out the headphones and see if it makes any difference. We'll also mess with the room ambience and check it out and see how effective it is. Okay, the perspective is dead center. We're going to be listening through the NS10s, and I'm using my Sennheiser HD 650 headphones. So let's check this out. Okay, that was really interesting. As we panned left and right, turning our head position to the left and to the right hand sides of the studio or the room, we could hear a different perspective of the mix on either side of the headphones. Now we've done a 180-degree turn. We're looking at the back of the studio, and now the music is hitting us from the back of the head. Let's have a listen to that. Really interesting. Okay, let's try out the mains then. Well, I'll start off playing the NS10s, and then I'll switch to the mains so we can hear the contrast between the two. Interesting, as we switch to the mains, you're hearing definitely a difference in the overall energy of the music. Now let's try this boombox. We'll start off with the NS10s, and we'll hit the boombox switch. really, really interesting perspectives. Okay, so let's try messing with the ambience, see what that gives us. We heard the difference across all three monitoring setups. So the final thing we'll do is try out different headphone settings. Like I said, I'm wearing some Sennheiser HD 650s. I've got the HD 600 setting selected, but what we'll do is we'll try different headphone EQs and hear what that sounds like in our cans. Well, that definitely makes a difference. You do hear different EQ settings depending on the headphone you select. Now, of course, you're going to try your best to match up the headphones that you're wearing with the options that are in the list. But the bottom line is it definitely does make a difference. Well, to sum things up, I must say this has definitely made a difference to my workflow. I've tried it out on the road where I've been away from the studio and just done some mixing from my laptop using my headphones. When I've come back and done referencing, it has been very, very close. And I reckon over time, I'll actually get to perfect this so that I'll be able to mix absolutely anywhere at any time on any system. So it's definitely worth checking out. I managed to pick this up for $29.99 on a flash sale. And I have to say it's worth every penny spent. Anyway, remember, if this video has brought some value to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. Always great hearing from you. Until next time, I'm Deuce. I'm out. Peace.